Welcome to the IM Academy's Smart Money Core Concepts training. In this video, we're going to be focused on building a trading plan. Smart money traders realize that a trading plan is a crucial component to the longevity of approaching the markets as a business. A trading plan reduces the guessing by helping you prepare for a potential setup before it occurs. If you've ever found yourself taking a trade first and then figuring out where your risk is going to be or what level you're targeting, that, my friend, is a recipe for disaster. I want you to imagine for a minute that you're driving a car and you have an idea of where it is that you want to go, but you don't have that specific route planned. You're going to waste time and effort constantly guessing which turn you need to take next. If you had a clear destination set, you had your GPS, that specific route, those anticipated stops, and an estimated time of arrival. This clarity and direction eliminates the guesswork so that you can focus on driving efficiently and confidently. Whereas in trading, having a well-defined trading plan, that is your GPS. It's going to help you avoid uncertainty, confusion, and potentially costly mistakes by having a structured approach, giving you more confidence and direction so you can stay on course, make more informed decisions, and overall have a plan that you can put to work. Now, what could go in a trading plan? First and foremost, you need to have a pre-trading plan. What it is that you do before you enter the markets. See, being in the right frame of mind is so key to being able to identify potential opportunities and approach it with the right frame of mind. Because trading can feel like an emotional roller coaster, with the potential for both significant highs and lows. So you're going to have to learn how to manage emotions like fear, greed, and frustration, and also be able to align your goals and expectations. The reality is, there are going to be things that happen in your day-to-day life, whether you have an argument with a family member, whether something happens at work, or whether you're just not feeling yourself that day. So having a pre-trading plan in place is going to help make sure that you can approach the markets at your best to avoid making unnecessary mistakes. Next, your risk to reward parameters, being able to think in probability. Smart money traders realize that having an effective money management strategy is a very important tool. You could be the best trader in the world, but without proper money management, it is going to be very difficult to succeed and have longevity. At the end of the day, being able to protect and preserve your capital should come first and foremost before prioritizing the goal of actually growing your capital. You want to be able to stay in the game first, navigate the risks, and then focus on that long-term sustainable action. Another thing that could go in your trading plan are your entry and exit techniques. The factors that are going to result in you getting in or out of a market. If you don't have a well-defined trading strategy, you're going to lack that direction and that stability. The cool thing about trading is that strategies come in very different forms, and smart money allows you to use a variety of approaches beyond what it is that you're learning right now, because in its nature, smart money is flexible, it's dynamic. And the reality is that some traders are more aggressive, whereas others are a little bit more conservative. The best part about a trading plan is that you get to make it unique for you. Now, this confirmation checklist covers most of what you've learned in this core concepts training so far. There are some concepts here that you're going to learn more about even later. And also, with your confirmation checklist, you have the option of adding in things that may not already be listed based upon your current level of understanding about the markets. Some things that you could consider include the market trend, market structure, what time of the day it is. Are you in the London session, the New York session, the Tokyo session, the Sydney session? Where is the liquidity at? Are there any institutional candles or imbalances? Have you used a Fibonacci? Can you identify any correlation or divergence? Is the risk to reward present? And again, this is just an example of how you can structure a technical analysis plan. When you're looking to enter and exit the markets, the reality is that you don't need a big, long list. You can have an effective trading strategy that utilizes 2 or 3 different confirmations, or you could go and you can have an extensive list, and unless that criteria is met, you don't pull the trigger and you don't take an entry. A really effective way of being able to put your confirmation checklist to the test includes backtesting. See, backtesting is the process of looking at historical market data to identify potential strengths and weaknesses of a trading strategy. Backtesting can be a very powerful tool alongside your practice trading account so that you can not only train your eye on what to look for, but you can also gain experience in a controlled environment by actually putting that information to practice. Now, another smart money educator is going to give you some more perspective on why certain things are important to have inside of your trading plan.
Why should you include these 5 things in your trading plan? Let's get into it. Number 1, where and why you take a trade. Now, it's important and crucial to include where and why you take a trade in your trading plan because this is going to actually give your trading direction. Okay, it's going to give you a concrete outline and confirmation checklist like we've previously talked about before on exactly what is the criteria that you need to see in the markets in order for you to put a trade on. Now, having this in your trading plan is going to allow you to be picky, right? It's going to allow you to have something where you can let the market come to you, where you are waiting patiently like a sniper for the criteria to be met in order for you to take a trade so that you aren't just getting into the market blindly or getting into the market based upon how you feel or what you think should happen to that currency pair or asset without any actual reasoning behind it, technical or fundamental reasoning behind the trade. Okay. Now, having this structure is going to be the first step to creating an efficient trading plan. Number 2, what are your hours of operation? Why is it important for you to have specific hours of operation for your trading? Can't you just take a trade anytime you see some of your confirmations? Well, you could, but that probably wouldn't be the best plan to create long-term profitability, right? If we look at trading like a business, because it is, we need to ask ourselves, what do businesses have? Every business has hours of operation where they know from this exact time to this exact time, our company will be conducting business. And outside of those hours, no business will be conducted. This is going to be crucial not only to prevent you from over trading, because not every trade is going to be a good trade. And the more that you trade, the more you expose yourself to the market, therefore exposing yourself to more risk. And so just trading any time of the day, whenever you see some confirmations, increases the probability of you potentially over trading, which is something that is not good for your profits and not good for you to create the results that you're looking for. And so having this exact hours of operations will not only help you reduce the probability of you over trading, it'll also allow you to give yourself time, right? Where you can do other things, right? Where you can focus on doing the things that you enjoy doing. You don't want to just be looking at the charts all day, every day, always looking for an opportunity to take a trade. No, give yourself a time window where you know in between this time, I not only have the time, but I can give my focus to this fully so that I don't make any trading errors, so that I don't do anything that could have been prevented if I would have just been able to give my full time and attention to what it is that I was doing with the task at hand. This is going to be super important when it comes to putting together an effective and efficient trading plan. Number 3, predefined risk. Why is it so important for you to have your risk predefined? Not you deciding what you're going to risk once you see the setup, but you knowing before the setup even presents itself what it is that you are willing to risk on any given trade. This is going to be one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, when it comes to creating an effective trading plan, because trading is really just professional risk management. Being able to manage risk, manage capital professionally, right, in a responsible way where you're not over leveraging or under leveraging or fluctuating between the two based upon how good or how bad you feel about a potential opportunity in the market. Now, if we think about what was said previously about trading being a business and what do businesses have? Well, businesses also have business expenses, right? And they usually have a business budget, right? Where they know exactly how much it is they're willing to spend on their inventory. Well, if trading is a business, because it is, you need to know how much exactly is it that you're willing to spend or risk to figure out if that trade is going to be a winner. One thing that Mark Douglas once said that really put things into perspective for me when I heard it is understanding that our losses in trading are simply our business expenses, right? Understanding that the amount of money we pay for the trades that don't work are simply the cost to do business to make ourselves available to the trades that do work. And so having a predefined risk is crucial in order to do this, because whenever you're changing your risk all over the place or changing it based upon how good you feel about a trade, sometimes you can get it wrong, right? Sometimes you can feel really good about a trade and you risk more and it loses. Or sometimes you could feel unsure about a trade, you risk less and it wins. This is really going to hurt your games, especially in the long term. Understanding that the market is random, right? You never know what trade is going to be a winner or a loser. It's impossible to know. And this randomness in the market, because of this randomness in the market, we must allow ourselves to use a risk, a predefined risk that can weather losing streaks, because every strategy is going to have a losing streak, right? We need this predefined risk so that we are not fighting an uphill battle, Because when you fluctuate your risk, that's what it is that you're doing. You're fighting an uphill battle, right? Because it's impossible for you to know which ones are going to be the winners and which ones are going to be the losers. And so you can't afford to change your risk based upon how you feel. Another thing about the randomness of this market is you just don't know the order in which your winners and your losers are going to come. You can have two trades with the same exact confirmations, 2 different days, same time of day. One trade was a winner and the other one was a loser. It was the same exact trade. Okay? The same exact confirmations, the same exact time of day, the same exact asset. And one day the trade wins and another day the trade loses. That is how the market works. That is a part of the randomness of the market. Now, let's say that your strategy that you're using has given you about, from the data that you've been able to record, or maybe you have another software recording the data, it's given you about a 70% win rate, where over the course of 100 trades, you will win 70 of them. But that also means you'll lose 30 of them. And it's impossible to know the order in which those winners and losers are going to come. You could start off and have a losing streak, right? And go through a big winning streak. But you may not even see that winning streak that's to come if you over leveraged during the losing streak and you blew your account. You couldn't even get to trade 100, right? Understanding this randomness, that the wins can come win, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss, loss, right? Loss, 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 win, 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 loss, right? It's completely random. And so because of this, you have to pick a risk, a predefined risk that's going to keep you in the game. Allow yourself to live to trade another day, because losing streaks will come. And when they do, this predefined risk will be your best friend, right? And it's going to be the most important thing, in my opinion, when it comes to creating long-term profitability in your trading, right? No more taking trades because it looks really good and you feel really good about it and you've seen this before and it's played out. It's random. The result of your trade is a random occurrence. Okay? And so because of this, you need to predefine your risk and go ahead and include that in your trading plan. Number 4, where you take profit. Now, you can probably get an idea as to why it's going to be important and crucial for you to have a profit-taking plan a part of your trading plan. Now, a lot of the times when we take a trade and it goes into profits, we see the blue screens. That's when a lot of emotion can come up, right? And if we see our profits come against us just a little bit, it can scare you out of your trade if you do not have an exit plan, and then you close your trade early. Or on the opposite end, you're in a trade, you're in profits, you have a monster trade, and you think it's just going to keep going and going and going, and you see the money just going up and up and up, but you actually have no real target or exit, and so you lose half of the profits from that trade because it came back, or maybe even all of the profits from that trade because you did not have an exit plan. It is important and crucial that you know where it is that you're going to get out before you even get in the trade, because your exits are always going to be more important than your entries. Now, entries are going to be important, but not as important as exits. Let me give you an example. Let's say you take a trade, right? And that trade goes against you in a bit of drawdown, and then you close the trade prematurely. You've effectively locked in a loss. But if you take a trade and your trade goes against you a bit, you see a bit of drawdown, but you have your risk in place, you have your stop in place, so it hasn't hit that yet. You're letting your stop do its job. And then that trade then turns around and goes into profit. and then you close the trade in profit. Now, that drawdown that you experienced doesn't really matter as much when you close the trade in profit. So this is an example of why and how your exits are going to be more important than your entries. Where you get out of the market is 10 times more important than where you get into the market. And so because of this, it is essential that you have an exit plan put into your trading plan. Now, once you have this exit plan, whether it's going to be you're targeting a certain risk reward or a certain technical signal, you also want to put in your exit plan of where you take profit what it is that you plan to do at that first target. Are you going to set multiple targets? Are you going to collapse the entire trade at the first target? Or are you going to take a partial? And if you're going to take a partial, how much are you going to partial? And then what are you going to partial at the next targets? That way, you don't just have an exit plan for your first target and then have no idea how you're going to manage the rest of your trade if you do partial and allow it to keep going. So this is why it's going to be super crucial to have in your trading plan where it is you take profit. Last, but definitely not least, number 5, how are your trades managed? What is the importance of this and what do I even mean by this? When it comes to number 5 on how are your trades managed, this is going to tie more so into extra rules or boundaries that you're going to set for yourself, as well as a break-even plan, right? A lot of traders, they tend to not have an actual constant or an exact reason as to when or why they'll break even. And they just kind of break even whenever they're in a bit of profit or whenever they feel like the trade shouldn't come back on them or whatever the case may be. But having an exact break even plan will also prevent you from breaking even too early, right? A lot of the times people can break even way too early when they're in a bit of profit. It hits you out break even and the trade still does what you were looking for it to do. Putting in the thought on a break-even plan is going to allow you to look at your edge, analyze your strategy, and decide and determine when is the best time for you to break even based upon the strategy that you follow. I personally like to break even after a 1 to 2 because that's a winning trade, unless there is imbalance around my entry. That is one of my break-even rules. Now, you're also going to include things such as, are you going to trade news? If you are going to trade news, or are you going to be someone that gets in before the news, or are you going to wait till after the news and the impact hits, right? Or are you just going to completely avoid news days at all, right? Your emotions, how are you going to manage things with your trading when it comes to your emotions and things that are going on in your life? Are you going to allow yourself to trade whenever you're sick or you're stressed, right? Putting these rules or boundaries and extra things to follow is what number 5 is going to be for, right? Setting out boundaries such as not allowing yourself to trade when you're under heavy emotion or stress, not allowing yourself to trade whenever you're sick, right? As well as having a plan for the news. And with this number 5, it can grow over time and evolve over time as you set more boundaries for yourself, right? One of the things that I've added in there for myself is no closing trades prematurely, right? Little details or rules that you notice in your trading that you need to follow. So these are going to be 5 things that I think should be included in your trading plan and why these 5 things are crucial for an effective trading.
Whether your results are red or blue, that, my friend, is a reflection of you, your current level of understanding about yourself and about the markets. The synergy between having good money management principles, having a well-defined trading strategy, and having an unbreakable trading psychology is key for sustainable growth. And while each concept is a very important one on its own, the real power comes in understanding how a smart money trader can make each of these work together. You could have pages and pages of notes. But without actually applying the information, how are you ever going to develop the skills and the confidence to put it to work? I'd encourage you right now, build your plan. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Write it out and go and apply what it is that you've learned.